Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today in this video I'm going to check the Eachine U65 Micro Brushless Quadcopter. In this video I'm going to go over its features, show you how to set it up, and fly it both indoors and outdoors. This quadcopter is available in two styling options. You can get the US 65, which features the American flag, or you can get the UK 65, which features the United Kingdom flag. In addition, it is available only as a bind and fly version, and you can choose between two types of receivers, so you can choose between a Frsky and Fly-Sky options. Inside the box we can find the quadcopter, three 250 mAh 1S LHV batteries, a 6-way charger which is identical to the one from Happy model. Its input voltage is between 7 to 25 volts, and you can power it using an XT60 battery connector or with a DC 2.1mm plug. In addition, over here you can set the terminal voltage per cell. By default it is set to 4.2, but since we're using LHV batteries you need to set it to 4.35 volts, so just make sure to switch it to this option. And over here you can also set the current between 0.2 to 0.6 amperes. And in order to extend the lifespan of your batteries, I recommend to leave it on 0.2 amperes option when charging 250 mAh lipo batteries. In addition, you can also find in the box the instructions manual, which is straight to the point, and a bag with a screwdriver, a couple of extra screws, rubber bands, and also an extra set of propellers. But pay attention that you are getting two types. One is a 4-leaf propellers and the second one is a 3-leaf propellers. So since you're getting only one set of each propellers, I recommend to get a couple of extra ones. A few months ago I reviewed the EuroAV UR65 and compared it with the Happy model Snapper 6, and the UR65 is almost identical to the UR65 except two changes have been made. First of all, now the VTX supports smart audio, so setting up the frequency is much easier. And in addition, instead of using 17,000 kV 0603 motors, the UR65 is using 19,000 kV 0603 motors, which are identical to the ones that are being used with the Snapper 6. I think that opting in for 19,000 kV motors is a good choice, since this is the reason that the Snapper 6 felt more powerful than the EuroAV UR65. In terms of components, the UR65 is using an all-in-one camera. The output strength of the VTX is 25 mV and it supports 48 channels. The motors are 0603 19,000 kV brushless motors, and the main control board is the Eachine Crazybee. This is the version 1.2. It features a built-in receiver, either Frsky or Fly-Sky compatible receivers depending on the version that you bought. It features a built-in 4-in-1 6A BLLES ESC, and it comes pre-flashed with Betaflight 3.4.0. Binding the U65 is done by pressing the bind button, which is located on the top of the flight controller. It is accessible without removing the top canopy, but it's not recommended to do it because you might damage the bind button. So simply first of all remove the two screws that are located on the sides of the canopy. And as you can see, the bind button is located over here. The default bind mode is D16. You can configure it also to D8 in Betaflight, so Frsky X stands for D16, which is the default option, and if you're going to change it to Frsky D, the bind mode is going to be changed to D8. Then on your remote controller, choose the desired mode, then power up the U65 either by using a lipo battery or by connecting the micro USB connector to a USB power source. Then press the bind button. And now, as you can see, all the LED indicators on the back became solid, which means that now the quadcopter is in binding mode. Then hit bind on your remote controller, leave the telemetry on, and now you can see the LED lights are flashing, which means that the bind procedure was successfully done. Then press exit, and as you can see over here, we are getting the RSSI indication from the receiver. In terms of weight, the UR65 weighs 21.9 grams, so it is a little bit heavier than the EuroAV UR65, which weighs 21.1 gram, and it is lighter than the Snapper 6 that weighs 23.6 grams. The next thing I'm going to do is to go over Betaflight configuration, and then I'm going to measure the hovering time with 4-leaf propellers, with 3-leaf propellers, and also compare it with the hovering time of the EuroAV UR65 with 4-leaf belay propellers. Then I'm going to take it for a test flight and test it both indoors and outdoors, and I will see you in the end of this video in order to give you my conclusion.
I'm waiting. My hand, I'm shaking. Tired of this addiction. Standing on house obsession. Trying to hold on to fame. We're caving in. And how's it cost? You don't know what I face. But I still believe. You say there's no point in trying. I'm finishing starting shots. If that's the look, I'll always be here. I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
So overall, I can tell you that the US65 does feel a little bit more powerful than the UR65. However, if you already own the UR65, I wouldn't rush and upgrade it to the US65 because the difference is not that overwhelming. If you're looking for more power, your next step is probably to get one of these power whoops. So this is the Mobula 7 and this one is the Betaflight 65X, which soon I'm going to review on my channel. Regarding the propellers, I recommend to use the 4-leaf bladed propellers since in my opinion they provide a little bit more thrust, and the result of my small and not very accurate test showed that the hovering time using the 3-leaf propellers and the 4-leaf bladed propellers is very similar. In terms of durability, which is an important aspect since you are going to crash this quadcopter a lot, especially when flying indoors, I can tell you that the quadcopter survived a few hits without any issues and it seems like a very durable one. However, because the costs are not that high, I recommend to get an extra frame and also one extra motor as spares, so in case things go wrong, you can get back to flying very quickly. Changing the motor is very easy, you don't need to solder anything, so you just have to unplug one of the motors like that, release the screws from the bottom, put a new motor, and the whole process is going to take you probably less than 2 minutes. If you do break something like these little plastic parts which holds the battery and are pretty fragile, I recommend to fix it using this super UV glue. So what you need to do is just to put little bit UV glue on the part that you want to fix. Then just put the part in place, turn on the LED light, and it's going to cure and become hard. So in my experience, using this super UV glue is good for some small fixes. Of course, if the whole frame is messed up, I recommend just to replace the frame, it's going to be easier. And also if the frame is badly severed, it's going to create a lot of vibrations, so replacing the entire frame is pretty easy and is the best solution. You can see after about 20 seconds of using the light, the glue became hard and this part is now fixed. Finally, priced at $75, the US65 gives you an excellent value for money. You're getting a 6-way charger, 3 batteries, and if you compare it to the UR65, the same package cost about $87. So the US65 is not just cheaper, it comes with better motors, and also you gain the ability to control the frequency of the VTX via smart audio, which is very convenient. So I don't see any reason to go with the UR65 and not even with the Snapper 6. So out of these 3, the UR65 in my opinion is your best option. In addition, it's fun to fly indoors and outdoors when there is no wind, and both beginners and advanced pilots can enjoy it. As always, I thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it and you find it useful. If you have any questions about the US65, feel free to ask it in the comments section down below. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and hitting the notification bell if you're not already subscribed. See you on my next videos and goodbye.